overlay on it, except it is not existing on your own state. Like what I mean except it's not existing in your own state is that let me use map of Nigerian water body where we have River Niger and Benue. Now River Niger and Benue is not existing in Ebonyi state, so you don't need to give me that when you are narrowing down your own state, except that every other thing that is existing in your state should be given to me as whatever it is. So that's just what you're going to be doing. Get it as it is existing in your state and then leave the rest. Okay, like I said, I'll be going to be sharing these data with you: the airport, the game reserve, the road, the railways, and the waterways. Now here in your ArcGIS, you can see the way it is. We are going to be using Nigeria zones. If you have not done your own, you need to do your Nigerian zones. That's Nigerian geopolitical zone. This map. This is the map we are going to use to do the rest of the things we are going to do. So in a moment, I'm going to delete this. Let me delete this point that I used to split this up. So we are going to be using the Nigerian zones. Now to work with shapefiles, today we'll be talking about selection. Select by location and select by location and select by attribute. So we're going to do select by location, select by attribute, and as well as building a query on ArcGIS. So these are primary things we are going to do, and then overlay those shapefiles to our data. So the first thing I need to show you is that here, like I said, I have all these data here which I'm going to share with you, and I am going to work with shapefiles like we already know. Anytime you have your shapefiles, you can add it from here, add data. You can add it from catalog here. If you open up here and browse to the directory where all the data are saved, you can drag it and put inside here and it will come up here. You can also get the data by going to file and then go to add data and select plus sign here. That is the third way. The fourth way is by right clicking on the layer here and then you click on add data. So these are 4 ways you can bring data into ArcGIS, but it has to be in the folder which you save it. So in my own case, I'm just going to click on the plus sign here, and then I have copied the directory where these files are located. That is what I did here to make it easy for me. I make a copy, that is Ctrl C, go back to ArcGIS, and once it open up this here, like where the data is here, the next thing I need to do is to paste the directory which I copied from here, and that will be solved for me. I think I need to reboot my system. Alright, you can see up here. So what I need to do is to paste this, and once I paste here, I paste the directory which I copy here. I can click on add. It will take me straight to the directory that I copied. Now this is all the airport in Nigeria. I'm going to double click on the file and it open all the airport, and I'll add it here. Then once I add, it will load all the airport points in Nigeria. Yeah, all the airport points that is in Nigeria will be loaded up for me. Sorry, I want to make a close up one or two things. I think my system need to rest. Yeah, so the airport data is what I'm adding up, and once that is added up, I can go back to the same location and click a step backward, and then I'll add the second data up there, which is either highway or whichever data it is. Okay, now these are the airport in Nigeria. As you can see, is a point feature. Why you are seeing it like airport is because I selected it as airport. So if I turn on Nigerian zone here, you will be able to see every locations that have airport in Nigeria, like Lagos, and the rest of them. So these are the states in Nigeria that have an airport, and these are their locations. Now this is Nigerian state with the airport. Now I'm going to turn off the airport because my system is a bit this thing. So I'm going to click backward, and I'll select the game reserve here, and then I'll add it up here. So that have added all the points for the game reserve in Nigeria. Wherever you have a game reserve in Nigeria, you will see it up here. Then I'm going back to the same location again to now click backward, and I'll add all the road network in Nigeria, which majorly the primary road, like the primary major road in Nigeria is what I'm going to add up. And you can see this is the primary road network in Nigeria, like the connecting road network in Nigeria, which if you turn off this layer, you'll be able to see it well. So this is how the road path in Nigeria follow. Then I'll go back again to backward to add all the railway in Nigeria, and I add it up, and you can see the railway line. You can see it up here. Let me turn this off for you to see it is the railway line as it exists in Nigeria. Then I'll go back again to add the last part of data we are going to be using, which is the waterway. So click backward, go to waterway. Like I said, we have two types of waterway: the waterway that is by parts, and the waterway that is by area. That is, the roads, like the rivers, are represented as this is, you can see here, this is the lines, and this is the water body in terms of area, and this is the major water area, this is what major water area, and this is Lake Chad. So to add all of them, I'm going to hold shift and click on this last one, and then I'll add. Then all of them is going to come up here, and we are going to have those points and line we have. So like I said, we are going to be working on cutting, that is clipping. We are going to be working on selection, and then we are also going to be selecting by location, or selecting by attribute. So if I turn off this, let me turn it off so that we can visualize it together. Now these are the major waterways in Nigeria. Now this is the water line, which is water lines. These are the part of how the water catchment of Nigeria looks. So assuming you want to just produce the way the water in Nigeria shows, you can just turn on this, and this is how the water part in Nigeria follows. Now this is the way it is going to look. Now if you want to see the Lake Chad, as you can see, that's Lake Chad up here, so which have been added. I can choose to remove it. Now this is the major river in Nigeria, showing you the river Niger and river Benue. Now let me turn off it off. This is the major water area, which is the same thing as major river that we have up here, is the same thing. So I'm going to remove that part, and let's know that it's just only remaining that. So I'll be removing this major water, and if you look here, you will see the major river. I'm going to remove the major river we have here because this is a bit better than the other one, so I'll remove. Now up here, now you can see here that we have the map of Nigeria, showing the waterways, showing the airports, showing the catchment of the water as it is located, then also showing the railway. If I turn it up, you're able to see the railway as it drive across it. Then I'm also going to turn on the road. Then you see this is a map of Nigeria, showing the road, showing the waterways, showing the water body, showing the airport and game reserve. So this is what I want you to overlay them like this. So you can choose to do your own to actually see how it looks, which is by turning off any of them that you want to turn. So sometimes if you look at Nigerian maps, you will see the hydrological water of Nigeria. You'll just be wondering how they are created. This is how they are created, but we'll be working on editing them in probably as we dive in deep. But if I turn off this layer, you'll be able to see the water areas. This is the waterways: river Niger, river Benue, Lake Chad. These are the water, how all the water body part follows in Nigeria. So if you overlay the Nigerian zones on it, you will be able to see it this way. Now if you now overlay the road, you are able to see the way the primary road follows in Nigeria, and this is how the railway follow, and this is how the water, all the water, other water body follows. So what we are going to do, like I said, is we are going to make them look what is supposed to be, that is nicely, before we now switch over to whatever it is. So I think, do anybody have issue to how I get here for now? I think nobody. All right, so we are going to come back to this, and on this note, remember the last time that I checked off, I created two grid data for this. This is graphical, and then I am going to change this thing to 3 degree because I want to the point here, you can see how this point is much. So change the intervals to here, from here to 0, and then change this to 0, change this to 3. We have talked about this, so but if you have issue, you can pause me, let me explain to you. So once this is done like this, I will be able to have a spacing this the way it is. Now you can see the Nigeria waterways, you see it up here. Then you can also see the Nigeria railway. So now we just need to make it look nice. The first thing we need to do is, in the railway, you click on this line here, and this is railway. You can select it here and then click OK. Then you now make the railway look the way it is. You can see here. Now if it is not looking visible for you, you can increase this and then click apply. It will be more visible the way you can see it here. Now the next thing we need to go is to go to waterways. As you can see here, we can change this thing to 0.1, for example. If you make it 0.1, you make it smaller, and if you click apply, it will show a bit tiny like this for you to be able to see what is behind it. Now you can see the road, but if we add the road, it will make it look have a noise. So I am not going to use the road today. I will removing the road because it is going to look noisy. Now the next thing is that the water body, which is what we are going to add now. Remember here, you change the color to a water body color, let's say like this, so that it will be looking like a water body, like you can see it up here. You can also change it to a color lake, or you go to the normal way. They say that the water is always come with blue, so you can go here and select blue color and then click apply for it to be applied to be looking like waterway. Now that's for waterway. The next thing is lake chart is already here. Then the next thing we need to look at again is road. Like I said, I will be removing road, so I won't be adding road to what we'll be using. The railway is already here. Then the next thing we need to do is to change the color of the waterways here. Maybe we can change it to something like lake. If you change this, it will start looking like this. This is the tributary of the waters. Now if you do a close inspect on the river, assuming you are asked to produce the levels of the river, you can see the levels of the river. With the hydrological description, you can make the water look what is supposed to be. This is what I mean. If they ask you to produce a permanent riverways in Nigeria and also produce a fluctuating riverways in Nigeria, remember when we talked about using symbology, where you can select a particular and then show how it shows. What do I mean? Like if you want to show the bigger water and the smaller water, with this attribute you can classify them based on known, permanent, and then intermediate, and which we are going to do probably to make it looks different. Now the next thing is airport. Now if you open airport data, you can see that we just have an airport. So for you to put your own airport, what you need to do, look at what I'm going to do. Just go to search, because your own might likely come like point. If you come to search, you can just type airport here. I'm going to type airport here, then and then I can search for it. Now it will bring me everything that I have to do with airport. You can see the airport here. I use civic. You can see the civic airport here. That's civic. So you can use your own as airport in airport here, which is environmental. You can use your airport as public. Now let me give you this a hint. Anytime we see airport and it is in 3D, it's likely not going to show on your legend. Maybe when we get to that river, we will cross it, but for now you can select the different types of airport here and make your own look like whatever you want. If you want to change the color, you can see when I selected the blue color. If you want to change it to red, you put it a red, and all the airports here turns to red. So it depends on their color, and then you already know what's how the color works. So this is your own. Now on the game reserve that we have, you open up the attribute, you see we have 3 game reserve. Sorry, I missed up this, so I'm not going to add the game reserve because okay, let's still add it. So I'm going to here, I'm going to type game, and then I'm going to search here because I'm trying to make it look for something, then not okay. I can also type for reserved. Then in reserved, I can search here. I'm just trying to look for a symbology that will make it look nice. So if it is this symbology that I select that is okay, I can select like this. And all the airport for game reserve here, we change to that here. As you can see here, this is it. Now I am done with this. The next thing I'm going to do is that I am going to overlay the Nigerian zones on it. And when I overlay Nigerian zones on it, I will have something like this. So it is your own responsibility to get this done, fix it the way it's supposed to fix. But what I want us to see is that I want us to see it in this format. One of the reasons why I just bring all these things is that I want you to customize this legend, bring in all these things, and then make it like a kind of a visual something that will make a very good sense. So this is what I want you to do. Customize your own based on the color you think that is best for it, and then make it look like whatever it is. Now the way, same thing we used to do. Remember what I told you, if this thing is jumping up here, you can just go here and go to the right here and say something like this. You can retype to this thing to be major river, for example, and major river. Then go down here where you have the the way here, like this waterways up here. You can also do the same thing I am doing here by renaming it to whatever it is. You now rename it up there. Yeah, that is major river. You now rename, you now have to rename it here. Then for railways, you can also put it Nigeria. This is Nigeria way race, so you can put it Nigeria railways, railway. Then this is water body. You can just put it stream or river depending on what you want, but let us just put it river because we have named the other one as major river. So type this one as river, and that is done. If you look closely to our legend here, all you just need to do is to fix it up a bit a way it is going to be okay. Then now since you have done this, it's just for you to add it up and it will come up here. So what I want you to do is when you get here, just make sure that both of them, if you select this legend and add, go to the this part of the place. If you have drawing, go to this place and select B. Then it is going to make the rest of it now have it's going to make the rest of it bold like this. If you select the way I select my own, go down to bold and click on bold for the first time, then click on the bold again for the second time. It will now make it good completely. So this is the first bold. Then if you go back again and click on it now, all of them within this place will be bold. So this is what I want you to do. Now in your layering, I want you to make sure that you have the point feature first, the point feature first, and the line feature second, and the polygon feature third. So make your own look that way, and then once you are done, you click here, and like the way I put it up, I'm going to delete this Atlantic Ocean that I put up here. We don't need it for today. Then the next thing is go down to your this thing and rename it to let's say Nigeria, whatever you want to show it. You can say Nigeria map. So I'm just going to show Nigeria map here. So put up your own whatever you want to name it. Like I say, you can decide to do for practice sake. You can decide to put your own other things you need to do here. So but what is important is make sure you have a nice map, you well designed, and then that's just what you need to do here. Put up the airport, put up the point features, put up the river and the tributary according to however it is, and you are done. Now this is the part one of what we are going to do today. Yeah, this is the part one of what we are going to do today. So I'll be going to part two. I don't know, my legend is not changing the board that I'm using for it. So if yours is having such problem, go here and click on select all. Click on this as bold, click apply. Supposed to reflect, and if it is not reflecting, that means the village people are actually with us. Yeah, so okay, yeah, so this is it. So make it up like this, change the color to the best color you think that the river should have. Look at the river color here, and you can make it up like this. So if you have a conflicting color the way I have a conflicting color, if you look at Nigerian map here, the southeast and the lake Chad, it is not looking really nice. You can see up here, if you have such kind of issue that I have, you can look for a color that is best for you to blend it in. So blend it in with the best color you can use to make it up to look nice on what it's supposed to be. So for my own, this is what I want you to produce. So on this note, I'm going to click on here and click on export, and I'm going to export it to my location wherever I want to, which I'm going to upload up there in our distance. So I'm going to write it Nigerian map, then both PNG and then both PNG and PDF. So I want you to get those map in those way. So I'm going to write down here P Nigerian map, the same way we used to export Nigerian map, and I'm going to save this one in PNG, then which I'm going now to export. And once that is done, then I am going to continue to do in the part of exporting it to PDF. So once we are done with this export, we are going to do selection, select by location and select by attribute. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to do what we call clipping. Select by location, select by attribute, and we're going to do clipping. That is where the second part comes in. We have a big time to fill. So clip, select by location, and that's what we're going to do next. So I will be starting with that now, but you see I've exported this map and it is done in PNG. Okay, so I'm also going to export it in PDF. Like I said, I would like you to always submit in PDF as well as PNG. Yeah, so I'll be exporting in PDF. So I will click on the Nigerian map again. I will just need to change it to PDF, and then I will click export, save, and then it is going to export, and we are done. All right, once this is done, I will head over straight to select by location, clipping, and select by attribute. Okay, so it's 100% and it is remaining a bit to close. So this is where we are going to stop on this. So I want you to create this kind of map. Every features that you have here, I am going to send it to the data folder so that you can download it there and use it to produce your own map. And not just only this, the data, like I said, is open, is for you. If you have a map or if you have a work that you need to show waterways, you need to show airport, you need to show highways, the data is open for you. You can use it, reproduce to do whatever work you want to do. So I'll be dropping it there. You can download it anytime. You have access to it once, anytime you want to download, go it down there and download it. Now I am going to turn all the layers, which is what I'm going to do now. So we have this, and I am going to return sorry, I turn on all the layers, so I'm turning it off all, and then we are here. So we're going to return now to our normal this thing. What we are going to talk about today is about selecting by location. And on this note, I want you to use your state map to do this assignment. So what you are going to do is, this is Nigerian map, this is Nigerian by local government, is what we are going to use. You have the Nigerian by local government already in your folder. Now we are going to do select by attribute and select by location. Now I'm going to turn off this to avoid for it to stop showing me labels. Now but you see, this is the Nigerian map, and each of these Nigerian map, like we talked about the attribute information, we have discussed a bit about attributes, that it is containing columns and row, and each columns and row have their unique features, just like we know in Excel. Now one thing I want you to know here when you be selecting is that I would have just go ahead and select it myself, but I want to teach you one or two things, because as a GIS analyst you need to know what we call query, you need to know what we call attributes, we need to know what is columns, row, field and rest of them, because that will help you do analysis or search or whatever you want to do. Now the first thing I want you to know is that we already know what we call relations, one-to-one relation or one-to-many. Now if you look at Abia State, in the column 1, all Abia State is located here until you turn to Akwa Ibom. So it means that being the local government and Ikwa is in one to many relation, because it is Abia State as one to two local government as Ikwa, that is many. So Abia State is one to many to this column 2, that is column 2. So if you look at, see, Abia, Adamawa, the rest of the local government, it means that if I want to look for Abia State, all the local government in Abia State, I don't need to look for it in column 2, I need to look for it in column name 1. So I'll go to name 1. Anytime I select between here name 1 to where Abia State stop, is actually going to define Abia State map for me, as you can see here. So if I want the same thing in Akwa Ibom State, I will just go now here, open attribute information, go to column 17, and then hold shift and then scroll down to where Akwa Ibom stop, and then click on the last Akwa Ibom, and it will form automatically Akwa Ibom map for me. You can see it selected here. This is selecting manually. I want to select by Akwa Ibom, so I am teaching you how to do selection now. So I've selected Akwa Ibom, so all the layers of Akwa Ibom is the only thing that is selected. Now take note of this because it is important. I want you to know it. Now the next thing I can select, where I can select Akwa Ibom, is that if I know Akwa Ibom State, I don't know much about Akwa Ibom State, but I know about my own state, which is Ebonyi State. So to get Ebonyi State, this is the first way you can select, by just going to attribute information to select. Now the second way you can select, I am going to click here to clear selection. Now the second way you can select is by going to the state, like here, or the map of Nigeria. I don't know where, but I know my state is around here. What I can do is to label the features by the local government. Then I will zoom place to where my local government is. I know the 13 local government located in Ebonyi State, so I'm going to hold shift. I press select Z. Remember to click on this. I'll select Z. I will select Ebonyi, Ohuku, Ishielu, Eza North, Abakaliki, Ikwo, Eza South, Afikpo South, Ivo, Ohozara, and automatically Onitsha local government. If you know Ebonyi map, you know this is how Ebonyi map is supposed to look, because I have it here. If I turn on this, you will see this is how Ebonyi map is supposed to look. Now, in that Ebonyi map as it's supposed to look, now what I need you to do is, once you select the local government, it will form a Ebonyi map for you. Now I am teaching you how to do selection. Now because I know Ebonyi map, I am going to select it like this. What if it is a big data that you don't know? How do you select it? Now selection, we are going to treat selection on a day, because when we'll be doing different types of analysis and a lot of data we are going to be doing a lot of selection, because it is a critical aspect of what you need to know: a selection, select by attribute, query definition. So I have succeeded in selecting a Ebonyi State. Now this is the way I can do it manual. Take note on this. The second way I can do it manual is this. I'm going to turn this off. Automatic is by select by location. Now select by location, you go to selection here. You go to, when you are doing select by location, it means you have another layer. You have another layer that you are going to overlay it. Now I want to assume that I already have Ebonyi map, which is here, and I want to select all the local government in Ebonyi state that is within Nigeria map. Look at this. I want to select all the local government, what I just selected here, using existing layer. I am going to select by location. Now that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to turn off Nigerian map, sorry, Ebonyi map, and I assume that this is the what I want to use to select within here. So I'll go to select by location, click on it. Now remember your attribute table very well, and also remember this, the name of the layer. Now look at the layer here. I want to select from. Look, if you open up this, read this, you are selecting from. So where are you selecting from? I want to select from Nigerian local government. Nigerian local government. What is the source layer? I want to use Ebonyi layer to select it. Now, is it intersect with the source feature? Let me click apply. You will automatically see that all the local government that touch Ebonyi state have been selected. All the local government that is touching Ebonyi state boundary is selected. If somebody asks you, show me all the local government that is touching Ebonyi state or your local government, select by location will automatically get that for you. All the local government that touch Ebonyi boundary have been selected. Take note of that. Now I want to clear the selection. I want to do something again. I only want to select the local government in Ebonyi state. So you open up here, which is spatial selection method for the target layer feature. Change this thing to within that contain, look at it, contain the source layer file. Now when I change it to contain source layer file and click apply, it is going to select only Ebonyi state. Take note, it is only going to select Ebonyi state. We'll be doing spatial analysis where we'll be doing buffer and rest of them. There's something I'm going to talk to you about then. But let me take for example that you have a particular distance you want to search. Now what are you going to do? You apply search distance and you put it by meters, and somebody asks you, show me all the local government that is 1 kilometer within Ebonyi, outside Ebonyi state. You can click apply, and then it is going to show you within a source layer. This is how we are going to search by distances. We are going to talk about these things intensively, but this is how you can select a local government within Ebonyi state. This is contain source layer. Contain source layer. Now I am going to close this and I'm going to clear it. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is by selection by attribute. Now selection by attribute, you use the attribute you know from the attribute table to make the selection. Now I am going to ask us question now, and I want you to answer if you can answer, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Now I want to select Ebonyi state that is in within. No, sorry, I am not going to ask you the question. Let me say this first. I will tell you when you answer the question. So I'm going to select Ebonyi Nigerian local government here. Remember, can somebody tell me the layer I supposed to use now to select Ebonyi state? Remember, I've showed you the attribute information here. I've showed you the attribute information quite here, and we have talked about it a bit. I want to select Ebonyi state here. I want to select Ebonyi. Sorry, it's actually raining here. So if you're not hearing me, it's raining heavily. So that's why it seems I'm trying to shout much. So if we look here, can anybody tell me the states, the layer I am going to use that is going to target Ebonyi states? Remember what I explained by one to many and many to one. Is anybody here that can tell me the best layer I'm going to use to select Ebonyi state from the attribute information I shared with you? I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
But your screen is open.
Yeah, I stopped sharing. I don't know whether I'm sharing my entire screen. Yeah, I don't know whether I'm sharing my entire screen, but I have stopped sharing to be sure of what I am saying. Yeah, so I am saying that based on what I explained by select by attributes, where I've said one to many, can somebody tell me which method, which of this layer can give me Ebonyi state? Okay, let me
Name
not
two.
ask. Can anybody tell me?
Name 2.
Name 2.
Name 2 will give you the local government in the state.
Okay, name 2 will give me all the local government in Ebonyi State.
Yeah.
Okay. What if I said you are correct? Is that okay?
No.
Yes.
No.
What you requested for is the one that will show you Ebonyi State, not the
Yes.
local government of Ebonyi
So I
State.
am going to use name 2, right?
Name,
Yes.
I'm going to use name 2, right?
Yes.
according to your question, you said the one that will show you Ebonyi
Ebonyi
State, not
State.
the local government in Ebonyi State.
Yeah, the one
And
that
if
is
it's the
going to
one
show
that
me Ebonyi State. I have the layer of Ebonyi local government in Nigeria. So I want to ask you, which of this layer can give me selection for Ebonyi State? Local
only
government in
Ebonyi
Ebonyi
State.
State. Which of this
Okay,
layer?
that's
You can see the
Name
names.
2.
You can see the
yes.
names. Which of this layer?
Name
Name
two.
2.
Name 2. All right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what if I said you are wrong?
Wow.
You are wrong. It's
Because
supposed to
if
be
you say
name
that,
1. Remember what I said? That this is the parent folder, Akwa Ibom, Anambra. This is the local government. So if you want to select all the local government in Ebonyi State, there is nothing here that is unique as Ebonyi State. The only thing that is unique as Ebonyi State is Ikwo. You can see Ikwo, but it is not Ebonyi State. So it won't select anything that have to do with Ebonyi State. So you need to, this is what I said, we are going to talk about this very well extensively. So because the thing is that as a GIS analyst, you are not going to be working with 2 data or 3 data. You'll be working with data of millions. So you won't be able to do all these things by just going and select them one by one. What you're supposed to use here is name 1, because it is only name 1 that contain all Ebonyi State here that have a direct one to many relation with what is in name 2. So because if you say name 2 and you say equal to, and then you click on unique value, you're going to get 777 digit here, which is 775 selected. It you won't There is no way you can select a Ebonyi State here. But if you change this thing by clear selection and select name 1, which will have Ebonyi State, you are just going to go here and pick up Ebonyi State, which is one to many. And if you click on verify, it will be successful, and you click apply, Ebonyi State will be selected. I don't know whether you get what I'm trying to share with you.
Yeah, I understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
So this is how it is possible. Without that way, it won't be possible, because you see automatically select Ebonyi as a parent uh, name, but the name 2 is targeting the local government. If I want to select all the local government in um, Delta states, I will just go to name 2, which is name 2 here, and I'll say equal to, no, name 1, sorry, clear? Go to name 1, which is this, which is equal to all the state in Delta state here. All the local government, sorry, in Delta state. I just need to click on it. Like Kaduna, for example, I'll click OK. So if you go to Kaduna, all the local government in Kaduna have been selected. You can see it up here. So this is the way you can make your selections. Now another thing I'm going to talk about, which is a bit passing of what we are doing, is like showing you different ways of selecting by attribute. Like I said, we'll be talking about this thing extensively because it's very important. Now if I want to select all other states only, I want to select all states in Abuja, or all states except those in Abuja. What am I going to do? I am going to say select all the states, which is name 1, that is all the states except the state in Ebonyi State. For example, select me all the states except the state in Ebonyi State. If I click apply, all the states in Nigeria will be selected except state in Ebonyi State. Now if I want to change it, I can also clear selection, select all the states except all the states that is in, let me clear, and let's name 1, and then all the states except, sorry, let me clear, then go selection by attribute, give me all the state except the state that is in, let me say Bayelsa, or let me say Niger State. So it will select all the state except the state in Niger State. If you look here, if you go to Niger, you will see that it's only Niger State that is not selected. No, this thing have fall my
If you
hand.
are using a greater sign,
Yeah,
greater and less sign to okay.
yeah, this is clear selection. This is field 1, which is here. The first thing I need is to clear selection. Then I'll go to field 1 and say that all the states that is not in Niger State. I can use Enugu, I can use any state, but let me use Katsina that is close, and you click OK. It will select all the Nigerian states, but it will not select the state in Katsina State. This is selecting opposite. Select all the states except Katsina State. If I want to switch this selection, I will go here and say switch selection. It will select only Katsina and leave all the states in Nigeria. Then if I switch selection again, it will select all the Nigeria and leave all the local government, sorry, in Katsina State. Select by attribute. You can change this here. Now, this is selection and I want to clear it. On a quick one before I go to what I want us to do, because I was like I said, we're going to talk about extensively on this. If I want to blank all the states in Nigeria except in Abuja, what I'm going to do is I will go to that layer, go to properties, now go to query definition. Now if you go to query definition, you'll be able to remove all the state that you don't want it to show. Now if you go to query definition, let me close up this layer, go to query definition and build a query. My query is that give me all the same thing I did here, give me all the states in Nigeria except the state in Katsina or any state or Kogi. Then once I click on it and I'll click OK and I'll click this, all the states in Nigeria will be present but Kogi will not be present. This is query definition. That is building a query. With this, you can have this kind of opening as you see it here. All the states except Kogi. In as much as this query definition is here, state in Kogi can never come out again. It will go. If you want to change it, you can do the opposite of it the way it is. So we will be working on this more extensively. Yeah, so this is, you can look on all these things. If you want to do these things, you can do a lot of query, you can build a lot of these things by here. If you want to see the area by local government, you can see here. We are going to do that extensively. Now you see this thing is not here. Why is it not here? Because the query is still there. So for me to be able to see Kogi, I have to go to query definition and clear this particular query, and then before Kogi will appear down here. So this is just part of it. Now like I said, everybody is going to do with his states. You use your state to do this. We have 30 minutes left, and then I'm going to do fast for us to get there. Now like I said, whichever method you want to use it and select your state. For me, I am going to use the query attributes here. By attribute, select Nigerian local government, that is all, that is name 1, that is equal to Ebonyi State. I will go to Ebonyi State, double click on it, and then click apply and click OK. Now it have selected all the states in Nigeria, in all the local government in Ebonyi State only. Now go to that layer you have selected. I'm turning off this Ebonyi State now. Ebonyi State is selected. Go to that layer you have selected, right click on the layer, go to selection here, go to create, look here, create layer from selected feature. Now this is how you can create a new layer from existing layer. You see the entire Nigeria, this is how you can create a small layer. If you want Anambra State, this is how you can create it. If you want Enugu State, this is how you can create it. If you want Imo State, this is how you can create it. So go to selection. Once you select it and it is selected like this, go to selection, move down to create layer from the selected feature and click on it once. Now look here, it's going to create it up here, and you can turn this off. Now the parent layer is safe. Whatever you do does not happen to it again. Now right click here, click on this, click on the data and export it. Now I want to assume that I have exported it and it is Ebonyi State. Once you save it here, save it as Ebonyi State, and then click save and add it back to your layer. Just click yes and it will add it back to your layer. Now let me practice it for those that have not been here. I will delete it once I'm done. Go here. This is Ebonyi State, so I can type Ebonyi on it. In the location I want to save it here, and then I'll click save and it will come here. I'll click OK. It will go like this and ask me, do you want to add the layer that you have created? Like, do you want to add the exported layer? I'll just say yes, and this will come here. I will remove this and I will start working with this layer. So on this note, I am going to delete it because I don't need it for any reason. I have already done it what I needed to do. But let me use it and explain something before I can go ahead. Now in your state, what I want you to do is that I want you to group your state based on the senatorial districts. Google your senatorial districts. Ebonyi State is in 3 senatorial districts. I want you to create the map that looks like this. This is why I am saying this is Ebonyi senatorial district. This is Ebonyi South. This is Ebonyi Central, and this is Ebonyi North. I want you to create, Google it. If any state you choose, you can choose your state, you can choose another state, but any state you choose, Google the local government that make up each senatorial zones. Each senatorial zones, Google it and use it. I don't want to tell you because I'm going to ask, if you submit your assignment, I'm going to check your state, the state you choose, browse it and know which local government fall within that place. So, and I will be able to use that to judge what you are going to do. Ebonyi this is the senatorial district, how it is created. The same thing we did in Nigerian map. I'm grouping Nigerian map into this layer and into zones, as you can see like this. I want you to repeat the same thing on this. You see the way we created this map and have Nigeria into geopolitical zone. Repeat the same process for the particular state which you choose according to the senatorial district or according to the senatorial zone. Now I am going to quickly do it. To turn off this, remaining the Ebonyi that I'm using for lecture. Go down to the properties here. Yeah, when you go to properties, go to symbology. As we go to symbology tab, go to category, under unique value, under field value, select name 1, add all values. Sorry, no, select name 2. Remember it's local government now. Add all values. Now when you click apply, it's going to create a chloroplate map like this for you. But like I said earlier, know the local government that are located within each zones. For Ebonyi South, we have Afikpo. Afikpo, hold control. Now, select Afikpo North. Go down again. Select Ohozara and select Onitsha local government. Right click and group it. Go to Ebonyi. Go to Abakaliki. Select Izi and also Ohuku. Right click, group it. Go to Ikwo. Know those you already, like I said, I don't need to tell you. I want you to go and browse it. Any state you choose, group it based on this. We have done this earlier, so we don't need to repeat this particular process again. The way to do it is something we have done. So I want you to group into the layer as it is. Make it look like what it is and click apply. You'll be able to create this map like this, the way I created it. And that is where I get the replicant of these things you are seeing here. You can see it. Group it into the senatorial district like this. Once you are done with this, now I am removing it. I want to assume this is where we are. This is what I have gotten by grouping all of them. Now what I want you to do is that you are going to create another map. Now each of the layer you use on what we exported, which is what I'm going to show you down. This is the quick access. Remember we exported a Nigerian map recently, which is the Nigerian map we opened like we just finished just not long ago. So you are going to use the same features you found within that map to create this particular for your states, whichever state you choose. So what I want you to do is to use that same data, but now we're going to do clipping and select by location again. Now you are going to use this data, the game forest, the airport, the river, the Nigerian railway, and the major river to create for your states. What do I mean? You are going to use this data to replicate this. What I mean is this. This is Ebonyi. The first thing I need to do is to check, is there any game reserve located in my state? I will turn it on. There is none located in Ebonyi state. I don't need game reserve. Is there any airport located in my state? There is no airport located in my state. I will leave it. Is there any, now let me do something for those airport is located in their states. Now if you click on the game reserve and airport is located in your state, go to select by location, select this, click on the game reserve, select your local government, the states you have exported. I assume that there is this game reserve is on Ebonyi state. Select Ebonyi state, click apply. Automatically it will select. You see now there is no location, there's no value on my state. So once you select it, right click on the layer like we did, export that, and then you will form that point on it. I think, do we have any question on what I explained now? Because Ebonyi is not located in no game reserve or airport located in Ebonyi, so I am not doing what you want. Okay, let me show you what I'm saying. A quick one. This is Ebonyi local government. I am going to select local government within Enugu state. I'm going to
Sorry,
do something
sorry
like
to draw you
this.
back.
Okay, go
Sorry to draw
ahead.
you back. I think there's an airport in Ebonyi State now.
What? No,
I
that
think there's
that
an
yeah,
airport in Ebonyi
yeah.
State.
That's now. The data I have was not when airport is in Ebonyi State, so I don't have the
Okay.
coordinates. Yes, yeah, I don't have the coordinates, so I won't be able to provide you with that. For now, let's use what we have. When I update the data, I will also update it there. So I want to assume this is Enugu. I want to clear this to use this to explain what I'm saying. Now I want to assume that this is Enugu, and as we all know, there is an airport in Enugu. So I'm going to take Enugu here. This is not Enugu map. I just selected this to demonstrate for those that will have airport or game forest located in their states. So when you select this like this, when it is like this, and this is your state and airport fall in here, you can do it manually, but I don't want you to do it manually because you're a geospatial analyst. Go to selection, go to select by location, click on the airport like this, change this layer to that layer of your state and click apply. The relationship invalid for source layer. What's this English? That's select by location, airport, select by Nigeria local government selection. So when you select by Nigeria local government selection and say select that within whichever source, within a distance, or whichever distance that apply to the particular layer you are working on, you now do the selection and then click OK. It's going to select this particular airport for you, and once it is selected, right click on the airport layer and then click on data, click on export and save it as maybe Enugu airport or Abakaliki airport or whichever airport it is. It will be saved there. So that's what you are going to do. We have 20 minutes remaining. Okay, now this is a Bonny state, so there is no game in it, there is no airport in it, so I don't need to add these two. Now but there is river in Ebonyi state. When you turn it up, you can see a river in Ebonyi state now. So what you are going to do is this. We are going to use geoprocessing tools now for the first time for those who have not been using it. Now you see Ebonyi state the way it is. Now go to geoprocessing here on your screen. It will always be here. Go to geoprocessing, go to clip. Geoprocessing clip is what we are going to use today. We are not going to use the rest of them. What I want you to use is clip. When you click on clip, it's going to ask you question. The first question is the input data. Which data do you want to clip? Clip is the process of cutting something, that is extract input feature that you want to overlay. You use these tools to cut out the pieces of one feature class or more. This is what clip, using the area of study or area of interest. So what is my interest? I want to clip rivers. You can see river here. Two ways you can do it is by dragging and put. This is what I mean by dragging and put. I want to do river. I can drag river and put it here and it will come here, or I can select it by clicking here and it will open up and come there. So whichever of the two will work perfectly. either by dragging and putting it inside there or by opening to select. So any of the clipping method will work perfectly for you. So if you see here, this is river, you can also select it by here, or you drag it here and put inside here, it will come here. Which of these feature do you want to clip with? I want to clip it with Ebonyi State. Ebonyi is the band I want to clip it in. Now the next thing is default. Where do you want to save it? I always, there are some reasons I like always putting it in default geodatabase. You can also leave your own default or send it to the folder you want, but let me leave it in default geodatabase and export it after. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to leave this in by default and click OK. Now what it's going to do is going to clip or trim. In AutoCAD they call it trim, but in ArcGIS it is called clip. So it's going to go, you can see down here it is clipping. So it is going to clip it and save it in that layer. What does it mean? This does not affect your source layer. I am not editing. It is when you are editing that if you cut out something, it will go away. But when you are clipping, it will just clip the area of interest, creating a new layer that will form within the state or the feature of interest you are putting it up here, that is going to show. Except that every other thing is going to be intact. I don't know whether I get what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Okay, so let's watch the clip comes in. For those that are using AutoCAD, they already understand what I'm saying, but this is how you can actually clip out the data. So it is still clipping. Once it's done clipping, you will get a result, positive or negative, but it will always come positive because it is not a problem. So once this is selected, if you turn off Ebonyi the river, which is the source layer, and turn off the Ebonyi state, you will see the river that fall only within Ebonyi state. And you can see here, it doesn't pass, it will never pass this boundary you put input. Once you are done, you right click. I like after then I can right click. I don't want to save it in AutoCAD, that's a mistake. So I'm clicking cancel. I'm going to right click, go to data, go to export, and I'm going to save it into that location I save all these ones. So I'm going to write it Ebonyi river. I'm going to write it Ebonyi underscore river. So once this is done, I'll click save and I'll click OK, and it will export it the way it is exporting it now, and I'll click yes. Then I will remove this. Now the next thing that fall within Ebonyi again I will need to check is there railway for pass through Ebonyi? Yes, there is a touch of railway that pass through Ebonyi. I will do the same thing. Go to clip. Once it open up clip, I can now select the railway, and as well as you can see here Nigeria Railway. I will select it, I will drag it and put here, but it's telling me that invalid distance. I don't know what happened, but let me check what is happening. It's giving me a warning, which is railway. Then the next thing is use Ebonyi and icon, clip icon to face, and this is giving me a warning. The warning icon for more information is giving me a warning. So it is saying that the input does not exist or is not supported. Okay, I don't know what is wrong with the data, but I will need to check it before sending it to you. I don't know why it's saying it does not exist. Yeah, so I will check it and I will know the problem, and before I will upload it to you. But the data is intact. Geometry type line. Yeah, so I will check this particular issue and before I will upload it to you, and I will able to know what is the problem. But ideally it's supposed to work perfectly. But let me go down and look for the railway again and add it. I see this is railway, which is road. Then click here, click OK. Okay, yeah, I think there is a problem. Maybe there is problem with the directory, but I when I put it up here, it is not showing me that particular error. So you select a Ebonyi feature. I will send the right one to you. Select the Ebonyi feature, which is the clip feature, and click OK. And once that is done, it's going to run as it is running, and it's only going to clip a railway that touch Ebonyi state, and then it will ignore the rest. So you can see here it is coming up here, and it have created it. So this is it. If you turn off the main layer, which is the railway, you will be able to see. I think there is problem with this particular there's a problem which I will fix because it's still giving me the warning there is an issue on the data, please. So I will need to fix it up, and while I'll be uploading in our data folder, I should be able to resolve what the problem is, and then we now sort it out. But for now, uh that is how you can get the railway. Then the next thing you need to do is, we are done with the railway. The next thing is turn on the lake. There is nothing like lake within Ebonyi State. Is there anything like major river? There is a major river that is touching Ebonyi State here. Okay. Now this is the last thing we are going to do, which is the major river. Then even if you are in Anambra, do the same thing with what I'm going to do now. Go to clip. Sorry, I click on intersect by mistake. But you go to clip, the same thing we did, and now use the clip tools again. Input the waterways, the major waterways here as clip. Go up to the clip, major river, as you can see here. This is the one I'm using. Then select the Ebonyi State here, and then run the clip up here. So once the clip is done, it's going to leave the waterway that fall within Ebonyi State here. So this is what I want you to do. So it is done. This is it, and it have added it to the layer. This is the area that waterways touch Ebonyi State. Then I can now turn off the Nigerian waterway. This is the railway clip, and then look at the waterway. I'll turn this off, and then it is remaining this particular portions here. I can click right click on data, click on sports data, go down here. I can say Ebonyi. I can save it anything I like. So I can save it Ebonyi underscore water. Then I can save it up here, and then add it up here. And once it is done, I'll click yes. So what I need to do is to remove this particular layer here, and the whole problem is done. Now this is what I want you to do the way it is. So the next thing I need to do is, I've added the waterways and rest of them. I'll switch back to this layer to now right click on Ebonyi, and then zoom to layers. So when it is this, turn on Ebonyi roadway, turn on, that's the waterway, turn on Ebonyi waterway as you can have it here. Change the color to whatever the best color that suits it, either lake, as you can see here. See it up coming up here. Then change the I'm going to add the railway across it like this, because I don't know why it is not the railway data is having issue, but I'm just going to assume that it is okay and put it up here. This is the Bonny river, as we have added. This is the Bonny waterway, as you can see it here. This is the railway, as you can also see it here. So once you are done with this, I want you to practice with clip and rest of them. So you can go here, go down here. Remember to put it up the way it is, like my own. Put up the senatorial district. So I'm going to put Ebonyi State, and then I am going to click apply. I'm going to click OK. Now for the, because I am close to it, I wanted to put up the road that is within here, but because of this I'm not going to put it up. So you can see now I've fixed up, this is the Bonny river, and I can decide to increase the river. So I'm going to river like this, and then put up this kind of this, and then I'll be able to have the river in this format to make it look different. So you can see this is the road, and this, then the next thing is that I'm going to Ebonyi, I'm going to label it by the tab of the local government. You can see here, and this is okay. Now once this is done, remember this grid is now off. You see only having 2 points here. Go to the layer, go to properties, as you can see here, and then go to properties of the graphical here, and then change this. I'm going to use 40 because I already know what is okay for Ebonyi State. You can try your own by depending on your state. Don't use 40, I use. When you change your this thing, click apply and visualize what you're seeing. For me, I know that 40 is okay for Ebonyi State, and that is just why I go ahead and select it Ebonyi State here. So see it up here. This is my north arrow. You can see up my north arrow here. and then you can see my local government the senatorial district here, Ebonyi North, Ebonyi Central, Ebonyi South. So you can see it up here. I will always want you to arrange this in alphabetical order, because sometimes if you are publishing in journals, they will always ask you make it in alphabetical order, and we have talked about how you can arrange this in alphabetical order. The Ebonyi here that is here and it's supposed to go down, but I also group this thing in according to the layer, which is point, line, and polygon. So here it is okay because this is line and line. This two is okay, but this is a polygon. This is Ebonyi water. So for me, I would prefer to move the Ebonyi water down. So I'm going to click on Ebonyi water because Ebonyi water is a W. So I'm going to put it down. Then Ebonyi North, Ebonyi South, Ebonyi Central. C supposed to come out. So I go to Ebonyi Central and then arrange it to come up. Now you can't do that Ebonyi Central here because it is inside a sub layer. So to get this one done, like we have talked in our class, go to the layer of Ebonyi State here, go to the properties. I only want to arrange this tray that is within here, putting central on top of this place. So go to property, go to symbology tab, go to central, and move the central up. Once you get to the up, click OK, and once you click OK, this is done. Now if you click on this, you see the way your map is fit on. So once your map is fit on like this and you are satisfied with the way it is looking, like my own, you can see it up here. Ebonyi, look at this. So if you want to change, me, I want to put my own, I want to add mask my own with white, so that it will be able to have a masking of white on it. So I go to label tab, go to symbol here. I want to mask it. Then go to here. When it brings up this, I'll go to edit here. Once it brings up edit, I'll go to mask here, turn on halo. You see the way it is turning up white around it. Click OK, click OK, click OK, and then I will have a mask that is white around it. So once I am done with this, I can save. Then I will go to file, go to export. Then on export, I will export it like I said in PNG. So I'm going to put Ebonyi. So I'm going to put Ebonyi, um, Ebonyi, Ebonyi states. So underscore states, and then I'm going to put underscore to differentiate it. I'm going to put it 14th February then 2024. So this is how I'm going to differentiate it from the other one, and I'm going to export it as PDF. So you can see this. This is Ebonyi. I'm going to also open it, and then I have that type of map of Ebonyi. Yeah. So you can see up here, it's still coming, it's still exporting, it's not done yet. So once the exporting is complete, we'll be able to see it here. Like you can see here, this is what I've created, showing the waterways, the rivers in Ebonyi State, and as well as the railway that cross Ebonyi State, the Ebonyi based on the senatorial district, and the Ebonyi based on the waterway. You can see where the main water touched it here. Then the next thing is to go down here, do the same thing, export again, and then change it to PNG. So this is where we are going to stop today, and I want you to ask your question. This is export, which the same thing I did. So this is where we're going to stop today. So ask me your questions, and then I want you to do the assignment. So thank you so much. Do your assignment and submit it to wherever we need to submit. So I am going to stop recording right now while we ask our question. All right, thank you.